Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm down here today at sunny Goodwood with Michelin testing their brand new homologated Pilot Sport Cup 2 tyre for the G80 M3 and G82 M4. Before we start, I'd just like to say a big shout out and thanks to the ultimate BMW driving experience down here at Goodwood. In fact, later this year, they're going to have the brand new M3 and the brand new M4 fitted with Michelin's brand new Cup 2 Connect homologated tyre. So you can effectively try out what we're about to do in my car behind me. As you might have seen a few weeks ago on my channel, I fitted these Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's. And for those of you wondering, these are also the homologated tyre with the star on them, because I think that was one of the most popular comments from that video. So yes, I had the homologated PS4S and I now have the homologated Cup 2 Connects behind me, which we had fitted at Pro Tyre on the way down here yesterday. BMW are actually the first manufacturer to homologate the Pilot Sport Cup 2 Connect tyre. And whilst we were at Pro Tyre yesterday, we actually got those guys to fit the Michelin Track Connect kit, which consists of 4 individual sensors, so effectively 1 in each wheel, that then connects via a control box to the app on my phone. As most of you know, I do lots of track related stuff, and that's not going to change with my brand new M3 behind us. Now it has the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 Connect tyres and the sensors in them. It gives me the ability to keep an eye on pressures and temperatures when I'm out on track. And if I keep all of those at a very accurate level, it means longevity for my Cup 2, so they're going to last me a lot longer. Not only on the day, i.e. I'll get 15 laps instead of 5 laps because of overheating, but also in the time they're on the car, so I'll get multiple track days as opposed to 2 or 3 in a heavy car like the G80. Although the majority of modern cars, including my new M3 behind us, come with TPMS sensors that give you pretty accurate temperature readings and pressure readings, they're always very delayed. So when you're out on track, by the time you see the pressures or the temperatures going up, it's usually too late. Michelin's Track Connect is way more intricate than that. It gives us loads of very accurate readings. In fact, why don't we jump in now and set the app up? In Michelin's Track Connect box, you get the following. 4 sensors, which are missing because they're currently in the tyres that are on this car. They were fitted yesterday at Pro Tyre. You get a couple of cables, a short one and a long one for the transmitter box. So, looks like this. In fact, you've got a cigarette adapter there as well if your car hasn't got a USB lead. And this basically plugs into any power source in the car. So I'm going to use the shorter lead. I'm going to use my wireless charging bay to put this or rest it on because it's rubber so it won't move around. And I'm going to plug that USB into that port there. So when I turn the ignition on, we should see a light come on to the box, which we do. Then you need to download the Michelin Track Connect app onto your Android or Apple iPhone. We'll whack that up here in this phone holder, which also comes as part of the Track Connect kit, and it's really useful because it's very solid and it just gives you the ability to put it in the right place on the windscreen. I've put it slightly off to the left because on a track I want to be able to look through the left of a corner or to the right of the corner. So it's not in my eye line, but it is in my peripheral vision so I can see it easier enough if I need to. So now we'll click on the app itself. The Michelin Track Connect app should fire up. There's loads to this app, but we're going to talk basics. Now the app's open, we'll go into my garage. And as you can see, I've got 2 cars set up there. My M2 Competition, which has actually also got the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 Connect tyres fitted to it. I experimented with that last year. And we've put in this new G80 M3 Competition. We had to put that in yesterday because we had to sync up all of these sensors to the app. So the app knows which sensor is where effectively, so front right or rear left, whatever. So let's click on that and go into here. We can see all of the tyre information down here. We can see all of the car information here. So that's all right. Now let's go back to the start of the app And if we press start, well, we're not using it on the road today, we're using it on the track. And the great thing with the Track Connect app is you can use this obviously on the road because the sensors are there, everything's there. So you can use it on your spirited road drive, but predominantly it's at the track where it makes a big difference. So it's already come up with a suggested track, Goodwood, because it's using the phone's GPS. So track, Goodwood, yes, dry, most certainly dry today. So then we head down here and we press go. Now it's going to connect to the receiver and all of the sensors, and we're ready to head out on the circuit. I've just completed 3 sighting laps at about 70%, which has brought the tyre pressures up. It's very warm outside, the ambient temperature is good and the track temperature is good, so perfect weather for a track day. We've lowered the tyres down to what the app had told us, and now I've reset and I'm going to start a new session. So if I press start here, track, dry conditions, and go. So now it's found the receiver, which is in my wireless charging bay down here, and as soon as I pull off, they should come up. They're probably not going to be too happy with the pressures initially. I'm going to have to drive and pick up the pace, do 2 or 3 laps, and then we'll come back in the pits and reset them again to then be able to go out and set a number of laps at the optimal pressure. Right, so I'm in my M1 mode, and here we go. It's just saying go. There we go. My glove back on again. As you can see, the pressures are all coming up. Let's hope the front left will come up in a second. So we're just going to go out and cruise around the first lap. There we go. So we have all 4 tyre pressures on the screen. They're all roughly 2 bar. You can't let them go below about 1.9 bar because then you're putting too much load on the carcass of the tyre and the sidewalls and stuff, and it's not designed to go below 2. So this is perfect. So 2 bar. We'll work them up to about 2.2, 2.3, and then come back into the pits, drop those pressures down to about 2, 2.1 again, or whatever the app actually suggests, and then we'll go out and do some faster laps. Coming up to the end of lap 2, and we're seeing a bit of increased pressure. Still not enough to come into the pit, so this lap I'm going to push a lot harder, and hopefully we'll see these temperatures go up. There we go, the right 2 are going green. In fact, we've got 3 greens now. So we tip it in here at 125 miles an hour. That's 140 there. Roll it in. Quick squirt on the brakes. I can now see in my peripheral vision the app is mostly green, which is good, which is what I want to see. So in fact, they're all holding pressure really well, but I'm going to peel into the pits because they're bound to rise a little bit now. Just reset them a little bit, but actually it just shows with the 1 conditioning we've done, so those 3 sighting laps come in, reset the pressures, the car's actually pretty happy and the tyres are pretty happy. We'll probably adjust them slightly, we'll see what the app suggests, but actually that's impressive because that was 2 or 3 reasonably hard laps around Goodwood in this G80, which is 1800 odd kilos with me in it, and the app is telling me that all the tyres are very, very happy at the moment. We'll come in and see what it suggests. So let's just head along here. So Brian is now lowering those pressures to exactly what the app has suggested. Now, in theory, what should happen is when I peel back out of this pit lane, I should be able to get on it straight away, and we should be able to do 5, 6, 7, 8 laps at pace without worrying about everything overheating. The good thing about that is when the tyres aren't overheating and going beyond their pressures and beyond their temperatures, you're not shredding the tyres, you're not delaminating them. So being able to keep an eye on the pressures here, the live pressures, is really, really important and vital for a track day, because you can keep an eye on everything. And if one is going too high, you can come in and reset it or get advice from the app. It sounds ridiculous, but it's so accurate that it gives you that. Okay, we've reset all of the pressures of the tyres and I've activated the app again, so off we go. As you can see, they're all green, they're all happy, as they should be, because I've literally peeled into the pits. We've played with the pressures. So now let's go and have a little bit of fun and see what happens. If I push the car over a number of laps, they should all stay very consistent and happy and green, most importantly. This circuit is just fantastic. It's really, really good. It looks quite basic on a map, but it's really not. There's a lot to it. They have a fantastic BMW Experience Day here, which I did actually do years ago. Definitely worth it. You got planes taking off over the top of you. Here we go. That's 130, 140. I actually touched the limiter there in fifth. 150, hard on the brakes. Down to 4, tip it in. Car feels amazing. Really does feel mighty. And here we go. So everything's looking green. We've got the front two have actually dropped a little bit. That's 130, onto the brakes and roll it in. This is like one long continuous corner over the brow there. Get the power fed in, and here we go. What a circuit, what a car, and what incredible tyres and technology. Honestly, it's that app that I can see in my peripheral vision that's giving me the confidence to push hard. Right, here we go. So everything's green now. They are perfect pressures. I think that's the end of my third flying lap. We'll just keep going. Keep pushing, see what happens. Still green, no issues. They're rising a little bit. Unbelievable. I can't recommend this app and these tyres more to anyone that has a BMW M car. The initial outlay might be a bit more than a normal set of Cup 2s, but honestly, you're just going to save your tyres. This is now the end of lap 6, I believe. And all of them are still green, 2.2, 2.3. Just amazing. End of lap 7. I'm going to run out of fuel at this rate. What a car! Right, I'm going to do a cool down lap because it's me that's overheating, not the car or the tyres more importantly. It's been incredible. That was 6 hot laps for me. Obviously I'm not a pro driver, but I can push a car. I think the fastest lap we managed there was a 1:25, which is pretty quick around Goodwood. And just incredibly, everything stayed green. So the app has worked out, it knows we're at Goodwood, it's worked out that the left tyres go through extra load, so it's adjusted those pressures as we come into the pits and suggested what we should put them at to compensate for the fact that it's a right-hand circuit. Same with the rears. Well, the rear left is approaching 2.4 and the rear right is approaching 2.3, but that's as good as you're going to get, especially after 6 hard laps. I mean, wow, that's really, really impressive car, but really impressive tyres. And it just shows you that even with a heavy car like the G80 M3 or the G82 M4, if you've got the right tyres, the Cup 2 connects, and they're connected to this app, you can just pound away on a really hot day. It's 24 degrees outside and the tarmac's probably up above 40 because it's very, very warm out here on the airfield. So you can pound away, and you're not destroying your tyres, which is just really important, because that means these tyres are going to last me multiple track days and not just 1 or 2 as they would if you overheated the tyres massively. Brian, I'm so impressed. I just did 6 hard laps, 125s, 126s, around that. They're all green. All green with no issues. The front 2 now are actually at 2.28, both of them at exactly the same pressures. The rears 235 and 228, which just shows you that even though it's a right-hand circuit and we know the lefts are getting under extra load, the app has worked all that out and compensated for it when you reset the pressures. And so now I could just keep going. I had to come in because it was me that was overheating and not the...
Is it still green now?
It's still completely green.
So it's happy that the balance is right?
Happy.
It's happy that that's within the capacity of the tyre?
Yep.
So the tyre's not being overworked?
Yep.
So it's happy to stick with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean,
So two bleeds got us to that point.
That point, which is just incredible, because different tyres, or without that app, especially without knowing my pressures are so accurate, those 6 laps would have overheated and probably destroyed the front left. What a day, what an experience, and using the Michelin Track Connect app has really allowed me to get the longevity out of my tyres. I've been pounding around in that car all day on and off camera, and there's still so much meat left in those tyres. I can drive it home and I can use it again for several more track days. In terms of the app itself, I can now look back on all of the individual laps that I've done throughout the day. I can look at the telemetry of that, including G-forces, speeds, tyre temperatures, tyre pressures, all live as the car tracks around the circuit of Goodwood. So really interesting stuff to go home and analyse, especially if I'm looking at getting a bit more lap time in certain sectors, etc. What we didn't talk about earlier on is anybody can download the free Michelin Track Connect app and actually use it similar to what I've used it today. Obviously it's not going to be connected to any sensors, etc., but you can still look at data like lap times and some of the telemetry trace that I was just talking about. So it's really interesting. In fact, talking about that, well, I posted a lap time, I think it's 125.4-ish today, which I can now share on my social media. So if you come down here, whether you've got the app or the entire Track Connect package, see how close you can get to my time and tag me in a social media post, because I'm interested to see. There's a few cars on that leaderboard at the moment, but obviously this is a new system, and over the next couple of years, that leaderboard should start stacking up nicely. I'm going to leave a link to the Michelin app in the description below, so make sure you head over and download that app to have a look at it and use it next time you're on track, whether you've got the entire Track Connect package or not. Massive thanks to Goodwood, massive thanks to the BMW Driving Experience Centre down here, and obviously big thanks to Michelin for allowing me to do what I've done today. It's just been absolutely awesome. Until the next time guys, take it easy and I'll see you at the next video.